Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Real Sports Updates here. Back again with another video. You see the title, you see the thumbnail. Will Urban Meyer ever coach again? And that's, pro and college. And I think the short answer to this is hell no. But I think if you really get into the reasons why, I say no. I think a lot of people would agree with me. First and foremost, he has alienated a lot of people, a lot of powerful people. And I think when it comes to, and by me saying powerful people, this is players, current players, current assistant coaches, and I think, as far as GMs and the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. His performance as head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars was tumultuous, right? And I made a couple videos on it already, so I don't have to get it too in depth with it. But it wasn't just him failing as a head coach; it's him, really deteriorating the relationships that he developed with players, and just like I said, everybody who I named. So that is probably the reason why he will never get another opportunity coaching in the NFL, like for sure, NFL. The report that came out, I believe it was last week, the beginning of last week, when it was reported that Urban Meyer did not know who some of the more prominent players in the league were: Aaron Donald, Deebo Samuel, Jamal Adams, such and such. I see a lot of people question the report and question whoever because the assistant who they interviewed for that specific story, did not give his name. Now, one of the players, DJ Chark, he went on record and he blasted Urban Meyer, but the person with the Aaron Donald story was not on record. So then I seen a lot of people really kind of kind of try to kick dirt on whoever the unnamed person was. And a lot of people are saying, oh, there's no way this is true, whatever, this and that, blah blah blah. And they could be right. It cannot be true. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We don't know. The fact of the matter is, though, whether or not it's true or not, that's not the part that I'm looking at. The part that I'm looking at is that there is somebody. If this is true, there is somebody who Urban Meyer pissed off enough to for this person to go and talk about this type of stuff. And obviously they're talking about this to reporters who are going to put out this piece on Urban Meyer. They're pissed off enough to go and talk to him and tell these embarrassing stories that paint Urban Meyer in a very, 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 very bad light. And whether it's true or not, if it is true, then you've pissed off somebody enough to go and tell them that you pretty much gave up on the job in Jacksonville. But even if it isn't true, you have to think about how bad this guy's pissed off enough. He's pissed off. How bad did Urban Meyer piss him off for him to go and make up a story to this reporter, and for this reporter to put it out? How bad? What did he do to this man to make him make up such a really scathing piece like that? What would make him make that up? So there's a lot of questions to be asked. I think a lot of guys are there's a lot of current players who he coached in the league right now. I really don't think they want to get into it. I don't think that they want to badmouth anybody. I think they kind of just want to be quiet and move on, and I completely get that. I understand that. But there are going to be some guys, coaches, maybe some older players who come out and who kind of get a little bit more detailed about what Urban Meyer was doing, how he was not handling his business as a head coach. There might be some reports that come out about that pretty soon, so like I said, we don't know for sure what happened in the building. All we know is that he lost the respect of everybody, from player number 53 all the way up to the owner. He lost everybody's respect, and he did not maintain positive working relationships with these people. So this isn't, again, NFL is probably, he's persona non grata probably, in a lot of GMs and owners' minds, especially after the the meltdown that happened in Jacksonville. Now, college is a different story. Um, College is a very, very different story. I think there's probably more programs, more college football programs who would be willing to take a chance on Urban Meyer. Um, you know, obviously than NFL teams, but even for college, it would be extremely hard for Urban Meyer to even get like any type of recognition as far as him wanting to coach, or wanting to get back into coaching college football. Again, this is all about relationships and who he has pissed off, and he does not have, obviously the Zach Smith situation at Ohio State was awful. It was very bad. He's painted in a bad light from that, and I think that stuff is going to follow him specifically from college. That's going to follow him if he does want to coach somewhere. That type of stuff is going to follow him. And now, in the day and time that we're living in now, especially anything violence against women, or if you're somebody who is seen as supporting somebody who committed violence against women, or if you're seen giving a job to somebody like that, you are going to be thoroughly scrutinized. So I think whatever college it is, if they are interested in Urban Meyer, you're not just going to hear from the sports programs. You're going to hear from the students. There's going to be protests. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. People are going to rip him on social media and all kinds of stuff. So it's just it would be a mess. It would be a PR nightmare for whatever school it is. This type of stuff really wouldn't go over well with the boards of directors and all that stuff, the people, the regents or whatever they're called. It really wouldn't go over well. The just the PR stuff alone would be a nightmare. It would be a nightmare for whatever college it is. And then even if you are a college who is interested in Urban Meyer, and you recognize that it's going to be PR stuff that's coming along with it, recruiting as well too. Like, Urban Meyer has been trashed by players, by NFL players. That's going to do something for recruiting, and it's not going to be positive. Like, if NFL players are trashing you, and you are going to, if you're Urban Meyer and let's say you get a head job somewhere, and you still have NFL players, NFL coaches, they're trashing you and they're putting the stuff out about you. How can you, as Urban Meyer, go into a kid's house and say, "Hey, man, I need you to play with. I'm going to get you to the NFL, whatever. Look at my track record and all this stuff." How can you sit there and recruit a kid when you have current NFL players trashing you? Like, it wouldn't be great. It really wouldn't. It really wouldn't be a great thing. And I feel like he's in a place right now where he is untouchable, and not the good untouchable. He's just not. He's shown that his character is very, very flawed. And all of us are flawed as far as character traits are concerned. Somebody has a flaw somewhere. Everybody does. But when you are a leader of men, when you take up the mantle of being head coach, when you are looked at in that sort of way, you cannot be perceived as a guy who doesn't care, and you can't be perceived as a guy who's just doing this for the money, or you're just doing this because you don't want to be at home with your wife and your grandkids or whatever. Like, you have to have some type of drive behind you, and it has to show, because players are not going to, they're around you every single day. They're at practice every single day. They can tell if you don't care. They can see through whatever, BS type of, talks or whatever you're trying to say, whatever. They can see through it. They can see what your actions really are, and they can see what what you're trying to do by what your actions say. So for Urban Meyer, man, he cannot, I just don't think that he would be successful in any endeavor that he took on now at this point. He's been through too much. His name has been drugged through the mud way too much. He's too much of a liability, and his coaching performance at this point now can be questioned. Is he going to be all in on whatever it is, even if it's a small school or whatever? Is he going to be all in? Is he going to be all in there, or is he there for the money? Is he there to just get out of the house? Is he bored? Whatever it is, he can be questioned now, and he set himself up for that by exuding such poor performance with the Jaguars in professional football. Like he put himself in this position, and it's not typically a position that a national championship winning coach is in, but he's set himself up for it. So I think he knows that he is pretty much done with coaching at this point. Now his name is gonna pop up probably for other different stuff. He'll probably, I'm sure he still has friends at Ohio State or whatever, so he might be in maybe some type of consultant role in the future or something like that. He might just be doing some stuff like that where he doesn't have to show up. He doesn't have to be in front of cameras or do any press conferences and stuff like that. So he might be set up in those type of positions, just so he can make some more money, whatever. But as far as him coaching, I think those days are done. I really do. I really, really do. It's been too much. It's been way, way too much negative attention attached to him, and he is, wherever he goes, if there is a place that wants him, he would be bringing all of that negative baggage is coming with him. So I think he knows, and I think everybody else knows that he's pretty much done. So he had a successful, very, very successful career. He made a ton of money. Won national championships. Sent a bunch of NFL, sent a bunch of his players to the NFL. So he's had a lot of success. It's not like he's some guy that just showed up and coached for a few years and now is embroiled in all this controversy. Like, he had a lot of success, also a lot of controversy, but a lot of success, and you can't take that away from him. You can't take away his championships, and you can't take away from all the guys he sent to the NFL as well. But at this point in time now, especially the way things are now currently in the current times that we're living in, Urban Meyer would be too much of a toxic hire, I guess you can say, in quotation marks, toxic hire. But yeah, I think it's over for him. I think he knows it. I think everybody else knows it. His family probably knows it. But like I said, he's had success and he's made a bunch of money, so he can't really complain at this point right now. Just enjoy his time with his family now. So, and do things to stay out of the news. Don't be any more. Don't be a controversy magnet anymore, pretty much. But yeah, man, that's all I got on this one. Hit the comments though. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you think Urban is going to coach again. And if you do think he's going to coach again, why do you think he's going to coach again? It'd be interesting to see everybody's comments on this. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. Until next time, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.